Hello friends, today's topic is chemotherapy. So, chemotherapy refers to the treatment of certain diseases using specific chemicals that are destructive to malignant cells or to the causative agent of a disease such as bacteria or virus. Therefore, the treatment can be broadly divided into two categories, namely cancer chemotherapy and antimicrobial chemotherapy. First, antimicrobial chemotherapy. The first antimicrobial chemotherapy was developed by Sir Paul Ehrlich in 1909 when he found that an arsenic compound called arsenopamine could be used to treat syphilis infection. The antibacterial properties of the sulfonamides were discovered by the German pathologist Gerhard Doppmann, who received the Nobel Prize in Medicine in 1939 for discovering the first effective drug against bacterial infections. Next is a cancer chemotherapy. Cancer chemotherapy involves the use of one or more cytotoxic agents to treat cancer. The term cytotoxic means toxic to cells, and the general purpose of chemotherapy is the toxic destruction of rapidly dividing cells. However, chemotherapy also kills healthy cells that divide rapidly under normal circumstances, such as those in the bone marrow where red blood cells, white blood cells, and the platelets are produced. Rapid cell divisions also occur in the hair follicles and the digestive tract. Therefore, chemotherapy typically causes side effects such as anemia, infection, and a tendency to bleed easily due to lowered levels of red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Destruction of the gut lining causing nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, and damaged hair follicles will lead to hair loss. Chemotherapy is usually given in cycles as a series of treatment sessions followed by a period of rest. Other uses of chemotherapy. Apart from cancers and infections, chemotherapy may also be used in certain other conditions, including autoimmune diseases, multiple sclerosis, and rheumatoid arthritis. Cancer chemotherapy agents are classified according to their chemical nature and function. Some of the well-known classes of cancer chemotherapy agents include alkylating agents, plant alkaloids, antimetabolites, anthracyclines, topoisomerase inhibitors, and corticosteroids. Chemotherapeutic agents. The treatment of a disease with a chemical substance is called chemotherapy, and the chemical substance used for the purpose is known as a chemotherapeutic drug or chemotherapeutic agent. Next is the general characteristics required for a chemical chemotherapeutic agent. First one is their selective toxicity and therapeutic index. A therapeutic agent must have selective toxicity, that is, it must kill or inhibit a microbial pathogen while damaging the host as little as possible. The degree of selective toxicity may be expressed in terms of the therapeutic index. The therapeutic index is the ratio of the toxic dose to the therapeutic dose. The toxic dose refers to the drug level at which the agent becomes too toxic for the host, while the therapeutic dose represents the drug level required for clinical treatment for a particular infection. However, the larger the therapeutic index, the better be the chemotherapeutic agent when all other things are equal. Next is the side effects. A drug may have a low therapeutic index because it inhibits the same process in host cells or damages the host in other ways. These undesirable effects on the host are called side effects and are of many kinds and may involve almost all organ systems. Because side effects can be severe, chemotherapeutic agents should be administered with great care. Third one is the range of effectiveness. Drugs vary considerably in their range of effectiveness. Many are narrow spectrum drugs, that is, they are effective only against a limited variety of pathogens, example, penicillin. Others are broad spectrum drugs that may attack many different kinds of pathogens, example, streptomycin. Drugs may also be classified based on the general microbial groups they act like antibacterial, antifungal, antiprotozoan, and antiviral. Some agents can be used against more than one group. For example, sulfonamides are active against bacteria and some protozoa. Fourth one whether natural or synthetic. Chemotherapeutic agents can be synthesized by microorganisms or manufactured by chemical procedures independent of microbial activity. A number of the most commonly employed antibiotics are natural, that is, they are totally synthesized by certain bacteria or fungi. In contrast, several important chemotherapeutic agents are completely synthetic. The synthetic antibacterial drugs are the sulfonamides, trimethoprim, chloramphenicol, ciprofloxacin, etc. Many antiviral and antiprotozoan drugs are synthetic. An increasing number of antibiotics are semi-synthetic. Semi-synthetic antibiotics are natural antibiotics that have been chemically modified by the addition of extra chemical groups to make them less susceptible to inactivation by pathogens. Ampicillin, carbapenicillin, and methicillin are good examples. Fifth one, whether microbicidal or microbiostatic. Therapeutic agents like disinfectants can be either microbicidal or microbiostatic. Microbiostatic agents reversibly inhibit the growth. If the agent is removed, the microorganism will recover and grow again. Example is the rifampicin. Whereas microbicidal agents kills the target pathogen. Example is the ampicillin. The effect of an agent also varies with the target species. An agent may be microbicidal for one species and microbiostatic for the another. Next, we will see about the factors that influence the effectiveness of the chemotherapeutic agent. First, mode of administration of the drug. The drug must actually be able to reach the site of infection, and the mode of administration plays an important role. A drug such as a penicillin G is not suitable for oral administration because it is relatively unstable in stomach acid. Some antibiotics, for example gentamicin and other aminoglycosides, are not well absorbed from the intestinal tract and must be injected intramuscularly or given intravenously. Other antibiotics like neomycin and bacitracin are applied topically to the skin lesions. Second, the pathogen susceptibility to drug. The pathogen must be susceptible to the drug. Bacteria in abscesses may be dormant and therefore resistant to chemotherapy because penicillins and many other agents affect pathogens only if they are actively growing and dividing. Third, pathogen's MIC value. The therapeutic drug must exceed the pathogen's minimal inhibitory concentration value for its greater effectiveness. The concentration reached will depend on the amount of drug administered, the route of administration, and the speed of uptake, and the rate at which the drug is cleared or eliminated from the body. It makes sense that a drug will remain at high concentration longer if it is absorbed over an extended period and excreted slowly. Thank you.